We've seen parameters that can be passed by value and by reference. We may also make optional parameters. Let's take a look at optional parameters now. We're going to add a new function here into the product class, and the function is called calculate profit. And notice it says optional here before by val. So you can put optional before by val or before by ref even. Again, try not to use by ref. All the rest is the same here, except we add now an equals 0. When you have an optional parameter, you need to assign it some default value. And that way, if it's not passed, new cost will be set to that initialized value. Now this function actually returns a decimal. What I can do now to check to see if that new cost parameter has been passed in is I can just check it against that default value. So make sure that default value is something that you would never pass to this particular function. So if new cost is not equal to 0, then let's take new cost and assign it to the standard cost property. Now the standard cost is a property that I created right here on line 6. So we're simply assigning the standard cost in this particular function. Then we're returning list price minus standard cost, which of course gives us our profit. Let's try out this function. Go over here to the main module, and we'll drop in a little bit of new code. So dim prod is a new product. Prod.standardCost equals 250. Prod.listPrice equals 500. Now the first time we call this on line 8, we do prod.calculateProfit, not passing in any value. So if we were to go back to here, and I'm going to hit F12 to navigate right back to that function. So what happens if I don't pass anything? New cost is assigned a 0. So that means that we're not going to go into that if statement. So now we're simply going to use whatever the values are in list price and standard cost. I'll go ahead and hit the back button here. So what would that be? So it'd be list price 500 minus standard cost of 250. If we were to then do the next one on line 9, we see prod.calculateProfit, but passing in 700. So now what's going to happen? Well, let's go ahead and just run this now, and let's take a look. So now what happens? The first one comes out as we expected, 250. The second one says, hey, we're losing 200 bucks. So probably not something you want to do, calculate the profit on, something like that. But you can see the difference between passing a parameter and not passing a parameter, all done with that optional keyword.